friends, welcome all of you to a brand new video of our channel, where in today's video we are going to talk about Transformers 1 movie. Now this movie has been released, and like the rest of the Transformers movies, this movie is also getting a very good response. And there are a lot of fans who are watching this movie in theaters. But if you have not been able to watch this movie in theaters, then you do not need to worry. And that is because for all of you, we have brought this movie in its entirety. So let us set all these things now. In today's video, we will delve into the history of Transformers 1. That is why, within the story of this movie, we will uncover many fascinating details. For instance, how was the creation of the Cybertron planet? How did Optimus Prime achieve the status of a Prime? And finally, how did good friends like Optimus Prime and Megatron become sworn enemies of each other? So, let us begin the story of this movie now. So this movie starts with a simple Transformer named Handpax. Handpax looks like a very weak Transformer, and it does the work of digging inside the Cybertrust planet, but we see that Handpax is very different from the rest. It is very fond of knowing new things and doing new things, and that is why Handpax goes inside a library of Cybertron planet to know about something, and here, if he searches for it, he finds a small projector device, and as the Handpax activate it, that small projector device turns on, and some visual displays start appearing from inside it, and through that, we start seeing the history of Cybertrend. We see that long time ago there was no such thing as Cybertrend. If there was anything, then it was only Primer Primas who were very big, very powerful, and very kind. And that is why Prime Primas sacrificed themselves. And while sacrificing themselves, they transformed themselves into a planet so that Transformers, they could flourish on that planet. And that planet was called Cybertron. Prime Step transformed into Cybertron. He gave birth to many Transformers inside the Cyberdrome. But along with all that, he also gave birth to some Primes. And all these Primes were much bigger and more powerful than all the other Transformers. And that is why all the Primes together took the responsibility of protecting the planet Cybertron and started protecting all the other transformations. But their companion Primas created another thing on top of this Habiton. And that thing was the Matrix of Leadership. And this Matrix of Leadership, basically, it was a device that used to flow energy on inside the entire Cybertron planet. And this Amazon was the power source of all transformation, meaning that the way we humans get power from food and water, in the same way, all transformation gets power from Amazon, and in Cyberroll, Amazon flows because of the Matrix of Leadership. But yes, one day, this Matrix of Leadership suddenly disappeared. And due to its disappearance, the flow of energy on inside the entire sabbatical also stopped. And that is why, gradually, there was a shortage of energy inside the sabbatical, and to fulfill that shortage, digging was done inside the sabbatical, and they were taken out from inside the ground. Now, only after this, we see that this story ends. And as this story ends, some guards surround Handpax, and that is because the place where Handpax had entered was not allowed to enter without permission, and then that is why. Handpax starts running away from there after seeing the cards, and somehow he manages to escape and goes to his friends. And when Ernpax comes to his friends, we then have the opportunity to meet his friends. Ernpax has two particularly special friends. The first one is D16, and his second friend is Alita 1. Here we come to know that there is a main city inside the entire Hebert Ron planet, and the name of that city is I Quantity, and most of the Transformers live in this city. Along with this, we also know here that there is a power source inside the body of every transformation, which is basically a goal, and that is why we can call it a ball of power. And due to this ball of power, any Transformer is able to transform, but yes, here we see that this ball of power is not with everyone. There are many such Transformers who do not have it, and therefore they do not have the power to transform. And because of this, they are considered weaker than the other Transformers. And now, because all of those Transformers cannot transform, that is why all of them are made to do digging work inside the Cybertron planet, and they are called miners, that is laborers here. And the main character of our story, that is, that Ernpax is also a laborer himself. And that is why his friends also work as laborers with him. They do this, and the job of all these workers is to dig the ground and take out the Amazon from inside the ground so that the Amazon can power the entire transformation. Now, only after all this, we meet the ruler of Cybertron, whose name is Sentinel Prime. And as we can understand from his name that he is also a Prime, but among all the Primes of Cybertron, this Prime is the only one left. And this is because many years ago from today, all the Crimes had a war with the enemies of Transformers, and the name of the enemy of Transformers is Quensign. But in the war with Quensigns, all the Crimes are killed, and there is only one Sentinel Prime who is alive at this time, that is Cybtron. Along with playing the role of rolling the button, the Central Prime also protects the button from all sides. After this, we come to know that in the city of Button, where all the transformations reside, that is inside the Icon City, a very big event is going to happen. This event happens every year, and the name of this event is Icon 5000, in which basically a lot of transformations take part and race from each other. And out of all these, the one who wins the race is considered the winner. But yes, here we come to know that only those can take part in this event who have their power sphere, because today, of course, only those transformations can be transformed, which means no miner that is any worker cannot take part in this event. But this time, seeing this, Ernpax decides that he will take part in this event, and then he tells his friend D16 that both of us should take part in this race event. They also left behind D16, which means that if we come second last in this event, then we will prove to the entire Cybertron that all of us laborers' transformations are also useful. We are not useless. Although on hearing this, D16 refuses him, but Deepak forcibly takes him to participate in the event. Now, in this event, both of them come very far, and at one time in the race, both of them even come to the front, but yes, coming very close to the finishing line, both of them get injured, and that is why they are left behind. All the other trans sums pass the race, and these two come last in the whole country, but we see that Sentinel Crime feels very happy seeing all this, and then that is why he personally meets Ant Pak in day 16, and congratulates them for performing so well in the race. But yes, after some time, Dakwin comes to meet them, and this Dakwin is basically the person who gets all the miners to dig, and this Dakwin gets very angry with the Anti because they have threatened the miners. Despite being a heroine, he still took part in the race, and that is why the Darkwing got both of them locked underground. When Over and D are imprisoned inside the undergrads, they meet another man who is also a miner named B127, but for simplicity, we'll call him BB, tells them he has been there for a long time and explains that this place is where all the waste of Cybertron is collected and burned. B has collected some junk for himself since he is alone there, and he keeps it with him. He used to talk to the junk dealer, and when other hackers come there, then he introduces them as well. But inside that junk dealer, Olex finds a device, and that device gets activated by mistake, and then we come to know that it is also a small project device in which a message is recorded, and that message is basically about a crime whose prime is named Alpha Treon. In that video message, Alpha Treon tells that we are fighting a war here on the surface of Cybertron, and the source of energy that is Matrix of Leadership is with us prelims. But because of us being in the war, Matrix of Leadership is in danger, and hence the same message is being sent inside Cybertron, so that help can be sent from Cybertron as soon as possible, and Matrix of Leadership can be protected. Now, as Randex D and B see this message, they understand that Matrix of Leadership is on the surface of Cybertron, and that is why they should bring the Matrix inside the Cybertron as soon as possible, so that the flow of hydrogen starts again, and if this happens, then after that, no worker will have to dig to extract energy. Now, to do this, all three of them plan that they will have to get out of here as quickly as possible and go directly to the surface of the Cybertron. Now, for this, B tells Anpax and D that basically there is a train from below which goes to the surface of the Cybertron, and a lot of garbage is taken from here inside that train. Although B does not know why this is done, but he tells Rank, Tax, and D that if we have to leave from here and go to the surface of the Cybertrain, then we can leave from here by that train. Now, to do this, all three of them hide inside the train, but their friend of higher rank sees them in the train, that is Lolita 1, and this is because she is getting the train loaded, and when those three get a break inside the train, then she goes to catch them inside the train so that by getting them caught, she can get her promotion. But as soon as she goes inside the train to catch them, the train coach is closed and the train starts. That is why all four of them go straight through the train. They reach the surface by pressing the set button, and on reaching the surface, they open the lid of the train and come on the roof of the train and start watching the outside view, because the outside view is very new for them. But then suddenly, the train starts moving very fast, due to which all four of them fall down and the train leaves them there and goes away. Now from here on, reaching the surface of the episode, they start walking back and forth, but after some time, they notice a contestant's spaceship in the air, and they are very surprised to see their enemy's spaceship. That's why they decide to go inside the nearby cave to hide. However, as soon as these Pax and their friends enter the cave, they see that inside the cave, there are dead bodies of the Cybertron Primes. These are all the Primes who were killed in the war many years ago. If you look closely, you'll see that those Pax and their friends come to this place, but here, seeing the dead bodies of all the criminals, they get very stunned. But they notice that one criminal is still alive, whose name is Alfarian, but the Powerball of Alpha is outside his body, due to which he has become unconscious. Then seeing this, they put the Powerball in the body of Alpha Train, due to which Alpha Train becomes alive again. But as soon as Alpha Train becomes alive, he asks the Rank Source companions whether they are Sentinel Primes. Men and what? He came to kill him on Sentinel Prime's orders and refuses by bypassing the Runpack Source. And he informs Alphatrons that they are not members of Sentinel Prime. However, Sentinel Prime is their ruler, and he is an excellent ruler as well as an exceptional transform. But Alphatrons hears that Sentinel Prime is very good. In fact, he is much more than that, and because of this, he tells Editor 1 and B that Sentinel Prime is not a good person at all. Rather, he is very bad, and is also responsible for all the dead bodies of Prime lying here. He is Prime because he has killed all of them. No one believes this after hearing Alphatron's words, and then, for this, Alphatron shows everyone a visual, and while showing the visual, he tells them the story. Alpha tells Tron that when Primos created Cyberon, then inside Cyberon, Primos also created all of us Crimes. And as for Sentinel Crime, he was also one of our lovers, that is, he was our companion and used to be one of us, and all of us Crimes used to protect Cybertron together, but some people were the biggest enemies of Cybertron, whose name was Quenterson, and this Quenterson used to attack the Cyber, drone and steal our Amazon from us, and that is why we had to fight and wage war against them. And this Quenterson used to attack the... But one day, the Centurial Prime told all of us Prime Ministers that he has come to know a very big news about Quenterson. He came to know that all the main members of Quenterson are going to have a meeting at a secret place, and that is why his plan is that as soon as all the main members come for the meeting, At that time, we all should become prime ministers and attack them and finish them off, and if the main members of any intention are killed, then after that, they will never attack us. This plan of Sentinel Prime was liked by all the prime ministers, and that is why all the prime ministers met and supported Sentinel Prime, and then together with Sentinel Prime, we all stayed here so that we could complete our plan. But actually, we did not know that Sentinel Prime had made this plan in collaboration with the contestants. That is why when we reached here, we came to know that here the entire army of the contestants is fully prepared for the fight, and their entire army comes to our place with all its weapons. They attacked us, but even then we did not accept defeat, and we stood firm. And all of us crimes faced the entire army of contestants with all our lives. And after this, we were about to win. But then Sentinel Prime showed his true form, and he started killing all the primes while deceiving all of us primes. Sentinel Prime killed many of us primes, after which all of us primes became weak. Then only after that Sentinel Prime and the contestant together killed all of us, but don't know how. Prime killed many of us primes. I survived, and so before being sent, I recorded a message and sent it to Cybertron so that we could get help from Cybertron. After the death of all the primes and my statement, Sentinel Prime took the matrix from all of us primes. But the matrix of leadership created by the Prime Minister is very pure. And that is why only those who have a pure heart can handle the matrix. And that is why as soon as the Central Primary took the matrix in his hands, the matrix disappeared. And as the matrix disappeared, the flow of Amazon from the eyebrows also stopped. And the energy in the Cybertron started decreasing. Actually, Quenderson, who is our enemy, also needs energy on. And that is why he repeatedly attacks Cybertron. But all of us primes together take care of Cybertron and protect it. But Sentinel Prime wanted to control the whole Cybertron. And that is why he made a deal with Quenderson behind our back, that Quenderson should help him in killing all the primes and let him become the ruler of all the hundreds, and in return, Sentinel Prime will give Quenderson a trip to Amazon, but Sentinel Prime did not want that. It will never remain in the hands, and that is why, as soon as he caught hold of the metals, he disappeared. And from that day onwards, Amazon started facing shortage in cybercrime. And then, for this, Central Crime removed the power sphere from many Transformers so that they all become weak and can never transform. And then by doing this, he turned all of them into laborers, and then by getting the digging done from there, he started extracting energy from inside the ground because there is still a lot of energy on in the earth of Salon. Now, after listening to all these things of Alpha Train and all the companions of Iron Pack Source, their eyes are opened, and they come to know the truth. And they all come to know that Central Crime is not a good ruler, but it is very bad. But after listening to all these things, D gets the most shocked. Because for D16, Central Crime used to be his hero, and he used to respect Central Crime a lot, but today, after knowing everything about it, he gets a big shock. And that is why a lot of hatred comes in the mind of D. Now after this, they hear some sound, and it is actually of Contestant Special, which lands near their cave, and that is why they all come out to see him when Alpha Train and Hantax and all his companions come out. Then they see Contestant coming out of his special, but again, at the same time, Central Prime comes to them with many of his men, and he bows his head in front of the Contestant. And not only this, but he gives them a lot of energy on, and this is the same energy on which Ho Rank Pax and all his companions had dug it out, and after seeing all this, they get convinced that whatever Alpha Trial told them is true. However, at the same time, we also notice that a member of the army of Central Crime notices everyone, and that is why when she's coming back with Central Crime, then she tells them about that. On hearing which Central Crime tells her to go and kill whoever is there. On the other hand, we see that Friends talks about giving power to everyone, and that is why, with his power, he takes out the power spheres of all the crimes that have increased around him, and puts those 4 spheres in Ion Packs D16B 127, and edit 100 in the bodies of all the 4, due to which those people become much more powerful than before, and they also get the powers to transform. Only after this, they come to know that they have been attacked, and the Central Crime men have come to kill them, and then, what do Alpha Trinoan tell the 4 that there is a way to enter this habituate near here? That is why they should quickly go there through that route and go to Cibiton and tell everyone the truth about Central Crime, and as far as all these enemies are concerned, he will take care of all of them. Only after all this, North Train sends them all from there, and he alone fights with the members of Central Crime. That is why they capture Alpha Tran and take him directly to Sentinel Prime, where Sentinel Prime kills Alpha Tran. On the other side, we see that when they are coming inside Irony City along with the rank track source, then someone attacks them on the way, due to which all of them fall unconscious, and when they open their eyes, then they see that they have been brought here by the men from the Starscreen. Here, after meeting Starscreen and his men, they come to know that basically all of them used to be the protectors of cybercrime. But when they saw that Sentinel Prime betrayed all the primes, and because of that all were killed, then all of them left Cybertron, and after that, then they also started coming to other parts of Cybertron. And those people also started avoiding Central Crime because Central Crime gave them the order to kill Sunkar and his comrades from Rypak Source. It turns out that basically they are the enemies of 20 Sentinel Prime, and so they should join hands together. But here we see that D is very angry, and he calls Starbeam and all his guards very weak and cowards. Hearing this Star claim gets very angry, because he is the leader of all the guards, and then he attacks deeper, after which there is a fight between D and him on the beach, but D defeats Star claim, and then he defeats all the guards. He turns everyone on his side, and then tells everyone that now they will attack Central Prime and finish it off. But in the meantime, we see that Sentinel's men find them, and their entire men attack them. After which they take away many guards, including Starscream, D, and B, and when they leave, only then we realize that Ranpex, Editor, won. And there are still some guards who have survived, and that is because they would have been buried under the rubble due to the attack. After this, Ranpex and the Editor decide that they will stop the terror of the Central Plan and will free their comrades. And then for this he makes a plan together. Out of the two, Ranpak will go to all the workers and tell them the whole truth and include them in his army, and on the other hand, Jayalalitha will come from behind with the remaining guards, and when they are ready, they will attack Centene at once. According to the plan, Ranpak goes directly to the workers, and after going there, he tells them all the truth, after which everyone trusts Ranpak and they join his army. After this, the Runpex Editor contacts the men and tells them they must attack now. They all leave and come directly to attack. At the same time, we see that Central Crime has its own building with an army in front of it. At this moment, Starstream D16 B127 and some guards are at the speed. But simultaneously, the Runpex Editor and others enter the building to rescue them, starting the war. At this time, RunPX and the Editor free all their comrades, after which they join the war with the Peon, and then we see that D16B127 Starscream and all the other guards together start overpowering the Central Time, and they also start killing the members of their army. At this time, the Data of Antox together picks up the main tomato of the man of Sentinel Prime and takes it directly to the media, and then they plug a machine to his brain so that they can change the memories of his brain. After this, we see that there are screens installed at various places in the whole city, and then Runpex plays the memories of his mind on all those screens. After which, whatever happens in the mind of that man tomato, all those things start appearing on the screen, and all the people of the city see that Central Crime is very bad because they see how he cheated, how he killed and how he weakened them by taking out the power sphere of transformation. How did he force everyone to do something? How did he change everyone's freedom? And how did he support the enemies? Seeing this, all the people come to the conclusion that Sentinel Prime is a traitor of number one, and that's why the entire Have-A-Drone turns against him, and everyone wants that Sentinel Prime should be killed. Later, this front page data comes directly to his friends, that is, to the same place where the fight is going on. But here we see that D16 gets very angry, due to which his powers increase, and that's why he beats the Sentinels time and makes them very weak, and by making his hand a gun, he kills them. He is about to kill him. But then Rampex comes there and stops him, and then he tells his friend D16 that if he kills Sentinel Prime here, then there will be no difference between him and Sentinel Prime. But we see that D16 does not listen to him, and he sidelines Rampex and fires on Sentinel Prime, but during the firing Pax comes in front of his firing, due to which Sentinel Prime survives, but Pax gets seriously injured and is in a dying state, and due to being injured, he is about to fall straight into the ditch nearby. But then Day 60 catches his hand and he asks him that why did he do this to him? But at the same time, suddenly we see that Day 16's anger and his hatred overpowers him, and because of this, he tells his friend's Rank that he will not save him here today. And then after saying this, he leaves his hand and lets him fall in the ditch, and then only after that D16 directly catches Internal Prime and tears him into two parts by tearing him with a knife, due to which Internal Prime is killed. But we see that D16 still does not stop, and he starts killing Central Prime's army as well. D16 forgets that this is Cybertron's army, which was following Sentinel Prime only because he was the ruler of Cybertron. But D16 does not understand this, and he starts killing them as well. And he also says that today he will kill all those who considered Sentinel Prime as a hero. Here on the other side, we see that your Handpax thing falls down from the trench. While falling from that trench, it directly comes in the core of Cyberrun, and only after coming in the core, he meets some power. Which power are actually primers. And here they fix the primers and Handpax. They make him Prime, also seeing his sacrifice, and they give him a new name, which is Optimus Prime. And not only this, but along with this Prime also, gives Matrix of Leadership to Optimus Prime, and he tells Big Boss Prime that from now on, he is the new hope for the cyber role. After this Optimus Prime comes straight to the top with the Matrix of Leadership and this new power, and if he stops Day 16 from causing destruction. But here we also see that Day 16 also changes his name and names himself Megatron, and then here itself, Anpex becomes Optim, and Day 16 becomes Megatron. Because the ideologies of both of them are different from each other, that is why they fight with each other. But in this fight, Optim Prime defeats Magnetron, and he asks him to get out of the Cybertron, and now because some guards support Megatron, that's why he asked Megatron to take them all along, after which Optimus Prime leaves from there, taking them all along, and only after this, Optimus Prime reestablishes the Matrix of Leadership, after which, due to the Matrix, once again, the energy starts flowing inside the entire Seven Tone, and not only this, but along with this many power spheres come out from inside the Matrix, and then all those transformations happen. The one from whom the power orb was taken away also gets the power orb. Only after this, we see that all the transformations of Cybertron get the power to transform. And then that is why Optimals names everyone Autobots. And then after this, Optimals Prime becomes the new Prime of Cybertron, and he takes the responsibility of protecting the Cybertroll. But here we see the two best friends become each other's sworn enemies, but then the movie ends here. So friends, This was the video on the story of Transformers 1 movie. How did you like this video? Yes, you must tell me in the comments, along with commenting. You should also like the video because your likes and comments give us motivation.